All right, so 6,400 students have already been brought back since Operation Ganga was launched. And since the first advisory, a total of 18,000 students are back. It's a mammoth effort which is being coordinated at multiple fronts along the bordering countries of Ukraine. But it wasn't only about flying them out. It was also about getting them to the border. So what exactly is the plan that India devised in order to get its students, which were in Sumy, another city which started getting bombed severely 3 days ago? It is in the northeastern part of Ukraine. How they were taken from the northeast of Ukraine to the Russian border. Here's the inside story from a student who's a part of that rescue.
We are now starting Sumy, Ukraine, and it's in the eastern part of Ukraine, Russia, around 70 kilometers to Russia. And we have been said that evacuation procedures are being conducted soon, and by today or by tomorrow, we might be evacuated from the Russian borders. That we got right now. Ministry of External Affairs just informed him that we students, around 600 students are stuck here. So the coordinator said that he got information from the External Affairs that evacuation will be conducted immediately.
All right, joining us on the show, Pinak Ranjan Chakravarty. He's been a former secretary with the MEA, and Lt Gen BS Jaswal, who's been a former army commander of the Northern Army Command. Mr. Chakravarty, I want to first start by asking you, India, in fact, has done some spectacular rescue operations of this sort. As somebody who has been in that position, can you tell us the kind of effort that goes into it? Yes, there are anxious parents, but what are the challenges that everyone involved has to face?
Well, challenges are at both ends, within India as well as the country or the place from where the evacuation has to take place. The challenges are more in the target areas, because in India one can organize very well because we have a template and we've done it before. But on the ground, on the external target area, we have to put together facilities, landing permissions, overflight permissions. All these things go into, arranging for the flight to go. It needs call signs. There are a lot of technical issues here. Then, of course, servicing the aircraft when it's there. And all these things will have to happen on the ground where the people are being picked up. And, of course, the whole business of the whole organization of getting the people over to the airport, the aircraft. Then in this case, for example, Ukraine, it was a question of visas, which the government negotiated and got the governments to agree, these countries to agree that there would be no such hassles, and the immigration would be, just cursory that, okay, you have an Indian passport, okay, go, that kind of thing. That was arranged.
Sir, can I interrupt you for a second to comment specifically on something that is very hard to believe, but apparently it did happen. The fact that especially out of Kharkiv, a 6-hour window was created in the midst of fighting, of a firefight, for Indians to get safe passage. How is that possible? Well,
I knew that this was being discussed, and I had commented in one of the channels that this window has to be created. I mean, I was, of course, giving an opinion, but obviously this was being done, and it was being done with the Russians. And so the Russians finally agreed, because they were in the midst of an offensive in Kharkiv. So they gave named three cities near, or towns you can call them, that within 10-15 kilometers. And that's when the Indian embassy, once they got the green signal, they told our people who were stuck there, get out before 6 p.m. That's the significance of the time, because they gave a time, 6 p.m., which means that after that, the war will start all over again, or the offensive will start all over again. So that's how it happened. And our students and nationals, they were brave enough to come out and walk all. Some of them managed to get some taxi or a bus or something. Because it's, there is a situation is such that even a taxi person
Yes.
is demanding lots of money.
Absolutely. In fact, one person we spoke to said that for a distance that ordinarily would have cost not more than, say, $50, $60, even up to $1,000 was being demanded. But that being said, just the fact that this kind of coordination has taken place, General Jaswal, we see a lot of, accounts also coming. Yes, there is a diplomatic push, the safe passage was created. But then when you come to the border, some students are reporting back saying that we're not being allowed to cross over, that we are facing resistance there. What exactly is your reading of what's happening there at the border?
You see, the kind of coordination which needs to be put in place is very, very intricate. It's very difficult. It is easier said than done, and also easier criticized by some. But on ground, what goes in is very, very intricate. At certain places, probably because of the communication eclipse, probably the instructions were not passed. So that is the reason over there, the students did face certain difficulties. Otherwise, except for a couple of places, everywhere the transition has been very smooth. This kind of a thing will happen, like what Nitin Gokhale said in Fog of War. The insertion points through which they were supposed to go in, probably they were different. The other areas, the message was not passed, it could not reach, etc., etc. So, the fact of the matter is, majority of the places there was no difficulty whatsoever, and it is sad that these places things did happen, but it got resolved. So the main issue goes back that they had a procedure in place which was understood subsequently, and the students are put through.
The process is the most important, the intent and the process. Are there problems? Of course, it's war. Yes. Nothing can be perfect, no process can be foolproof in the time of war. But parents need to trust and not panic. The government is there. Every Indian will be brought back safe. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Mr. Chakravarty and General Jaswal for having joined us. I'm taking a very quick break, but in just a few minutes from now, we'll get you a Times Now world exclusive, the defenders of Kyiv, the men who are challenging Putin's march, will be right here on Times Now. Quick break, we're back with much more.